So now we have seen these things. Last important point and very important point is all the living organisms, at this point, all the living organisms are conscious to their sense, conscious to sense their environment and respond to stimuli. Okay, I'm a person, I'm an individual. If somebody taps me on the shoulder, of course I'm conscious to the environment, of course I will respond to the stimuli which is given on my shoulder. But the consideration, we can take a small bottle, water bottle. If I tap on this, it will show no reaction. Now this is a clear differentiation between a non-living and a living thing. That is why all the living beings are conscious, they sense their environment and of course respond to the stimuli. The stimuli can be physical, chemical or biological. There are three types of stimuli and it can be any of those. We all living beings usually respond to the stimuli. These are all the characteristics of living beings. Now this side, after this, what we have seen, diversity in the living world. Now this is also very important. When we are speaking about diversity in the living world, the term comes that is biodiversity. Now this also comes into consideration that what is the differentiation between diversity and biodiversity, students. As I was saying, diversity is anything, is like variation or lot of varieties of anything and everything is diversity. But why is there a differentiation between diversity and biodiversity? Biodiversity is only the differentiation of living organisms or anything which has a life into it, anything which is a living, which has a life to it. Those type of things, when it is divided or one of those type of things has lot of variations, is called as biodiversity. That is a clear differentiation between diversity and biodiversity. Diversity can be of anything. Usually consideration is given to general. When we see general diversity, it is usually in general format that it is considered to non-living things. Biodiversity, they will never be an inclusion of non-living things into it. It will be always living things which will be a lot of varieties to it. It can be varieties of plants, varieties of animals, or varieties of anything which has life to it. That is biodiversity. Now that itself, the term used to refer to varieties of living organisms found in a geographical area. If I say a type of organism is found in that particular area, or these type of animals are found, or these type of biodiversity is found in that particular area, means we are speaking about living organisms. That is the term. Next thing what we are seeing is taxonomy. Very important thing in this entire chapter is taxonomy, taxonomical hierarchy. As we have told in the very first thing when I was showing you this taxonomic the taxonomic categories which I was showing in the first slide. It starts with kingdom, ends with species. This taxonomy is what? Taxonomy is a branch which holds your identification, which holds your classification, which holds your binomial nomenclature. And the entire thing it makes up your taxonomy. Of course. Now what is, we have understood that taxonomy is holding identification, classification and binomial nomenclature. We have to understand what is identification, what is classification and what is binomial nomenclature. Identification is identifying an organism. Classifying is classifying them. How do you classify usually? Same classification runs to classification. Binomial nomenclature is naming them. You name an organism, you have an organism, you should understand that this binomial nomenclature is usually made up of two parts, genus and species, which of course we will be studying in the future, in the upcoming slide itself. That is identification, classification, binomial nomenclature. Now, we have understood what is identification. Of course, you have an organism, you identify that organism. Okay. Now, what is classification? Of course, classify them. But why there is a need to classify? Now, you might ask, need to classification. It makes the classification of organisms very clear and easy. When you classify them, for example, there are, again, let's go with chalk itself. There are many chalks. Okay, the color of chalks comes, right? There are different variety of color of chalks. But when you classify them, that is, these are color of red chalks, these are color of green chalk, these are color of blue chalks. It is easy to place those things in particular category. That is what classification does, and on that basis it is much more easier to identify them, because we have classified now, that we have classified this is a blue chalk. So if I say please get me a blue chalk, you will of course pick a blue chalk because you know it is classified, and then hence the identification is very much clearer. Yes, next, study of organisms becomes much more convenient, of course. As we have classified them, as we just identified and classified, it is much more easy to study them. It won't be a mess anymore. It will be very much organized, so you can study a respective thing. Evolutionary trends can be easily understood. Whatever evolutionary trends which are going on regard to organisms, of course, organisms 1,000 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 20, or 100 years ago were not the same. There is a little modification. It comes every particular time, not very soon. It takes a lot of time, that is, evolution takes up a lot of years. But usually, a lot of change is usually found in organisms, and that change over the phase of time, from what organism to what organism it has overcome, to understand this trends, to understand this relationship, classification helps you.